And hello, and a very good evening. Welcome along to the live stream. And it is 5 p.m. on the Sunday. It's a very hot, early summer's evening, and makes a change really that we've had some fairly indifferent weather. So a little trip today, again along the West Coast main line, and encompassing the Trent Valley as well. So we could do a couple of runs. But we'll talk about that in a minute, and hope you're all doing well on this Sunday evening, and let's get going. So, hope everybody is doing well, and say it certainly is a warm one this Sunday evening. Hopefully we've got a nice stable connection and back to normal in that respect. So this is the plan then. We've got an 807 we'll take out this time. We're going to do a Euston to Liverpool Lime Street service. Then we're on to Champion's Choice, which was Andy, if you remember from 2 weeks ago, and he's picked a Class 220 on the Cross City line, and that's using the OTS 2019 timetable. So we'll be going from Bromsgrove, I think it is, to Birmingham New Street. Lichfield to Birmingham New Street, I should say. And then after that, we've got a Class 90 on a Crewe Basford Hall to Daventry, to the DIRFT freight terminal there. So let's get going. Let's get the game started. So I hope you're all enjoying Trent Valley. And of course, to begin with, on this journey, it's going to be West Coast Main Line South to get from London Euston to Milton Keynes, and then we'll join the Trent Valley for our onward trip to Crewe. I was thinking about doing a Manchester Piccadilly to Euston or vice versa, but that was kind of Pendolino, which is how we did it in midweek, and a slightly indifferent stream, it has to be said. I'm hoping the picture quality is okay. I'm still not convinced it's exactly as it was before. Good evening, Pete. Hope you are well. And certainly is a lovely sunny day today, which makes a nice change. So I've definitely made the decision anyway. I'm going to go for this Starlink, Pete, because I'm quite honestly just fed up of a indifferent broadband that we get here. I was looking into it a bit more as well, and the high fibre isn't likely to come in. Well, it's going to be sometime in the next 4 years. So I thought I'm kind of fed up with being on a little bit of a wing and a prayer in terms of trying to get the stream going. It'd be nice to have a much more stable connection. So I don't think I'll get time to do it tonight, but I'm going to sign up tomorrow, and then hopefully that'll all get fixed up in the next, I think it's something like 2 to 4 weeks, they say. Good evening, Scooby. Yeah, hope you're well. Feels like a long time ago since I've done the Sunday stream with having the week off last week. So yeah, it's good to be to get going again. Yeah, hope you're well. Good evening, Brian. Yes, indeed. No, actually, it actually was a bonus because the day that I filmed on the Met Line was the day when there was a strike on, but it was still a pretty regular service. And we actually got to do something which is fairly unusual. We got to do Watford to Cheshire on a little shuttle run, and I did it there and back. So we went round that unusual curve. A little bit of a geekish thing, but it's very, very rarely used, that bend. And to get from Watford to Cheshire and not go via Moor Park is incredibly unusual. Brilliant. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That sounds brilliant to me, Pete. Yeah, marvellous. So yeah, it's a busy old time with the train game at the moment. We've had this coming out, the Trent Valley in the last week, and then we've got the Preston nearly selected the wrong one there. Preston Carlisle on Thursday, which is going to be really, really good. So I think the plan for that, I was saying in the post, but I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go live with Preston Carlisle on the Friday because, again, it's kind of quite stressful getting it downloaded and installed in time. So it'd be nice to kind of chill out on the Thursday and then go live on the Friday. Good evening, Azim. Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, all is good. So we're going to start off with, I think, one of your favourite units with the Evero 807. And we're going to do just the full 158 miles to Crewe. But yeah, I've definitely got to do it because I feel as though I know that every time I stream, I'm on the cusp of it being only just about doable, and that's kind of being in the country. So it's the only way around it at the moment. Yeah, great, Bob. Fantastic, yeah, Tar, and I've been enjoying the World Cup as well so far, and it's been enjoyable. I've watched every game. Yeah, it certainly has, hasn't it? I think as well. I mean, okay, we're starting at Euston, but I think it's very, very stable as well. And I know Amazed Taze has said that the timetable, particularly around Wembley, Wilston, is a little bit on the quiet side, so hopefully that will change in time. So let's.
TSW6 and AWS operational.
Right. Well, I suppose at least. I mean, I know it's annoying, but at least. Shall I have marker with it being in the day? I suppose at least that's kind of what they were getting at a little bit, I think. So by introducing a reduced timetable, at least you've got something that you can play rather than it just not being playable at all, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there is that. I mean, it'd be nice if they could actually say definitively either does work or it doesn't work. Yeah, I suppose that's. I think that the problem is they kind of want the cake and eat it, don't they? Because they obviously want the money to come in for console users because that's very, very prolific, but they don't particularly want to give up on it completely. I like that. They had a knock on the door from BT recently apologising for internet outages because they were digging. I just laughed. Oh, that's brilliant to know, yeah. All right, okay. Even at 110, you'll be running on restricted signals as far as Milton Keynes following the Pendolino that's just left behind. That's a bit weird, isn't it? I wonder if that means that it's restricted to doing 110 then.
Welcome aboard this Daventry West Coast service to Liverpool Lime Street. We'll be calling at Milton Keynes Central, Crewe, Runcorn and Liverpool Lime Street. Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
This is British Transport Police. If you notice something out of the ordinary, speak to a member of staff or text us on 61016 and we'll get it sorted. That's 61016. See it, say it, sorted.
So I hope the picture quality's okay or about normal. I mean, what I'm really looking forward to is with this Starlink, I should be able to go at least, it's going to be at the worst 3 times faster. So it's for upload, so it should be good. Good evening, Amaze Taze. Hope you're well. Yeah, so fingers crossed anyway. I think we're just about back to how it was before. The strange thing is I've still got no idea what the problem was. Yeah, it's definitely worth thinking about, because I think the trouble is, whichever way you look at it, you always end up with a situation where it's better with the PC, and you get all these absolutely superb upgraded timetables as well, and all these mods coming out. Now, I'm always conscious with driving the 807 that it's a bit on the quiet side, so let me know if it is too quiet, and I'll knock the sound up a bit. It always just felt, though, doing this run, and what we've always said before is, you know, it was good to be able to get to Milton Keynes, but you just felt as though it was half an hour run, you were just being cheated, you couldn't do anything more. So to be able to suddenly then go out to Crewe is nothing short of amazing. Just want to be able to carry on to Manchester Piccadilly now. Yeah, is it a bit quiet? That's the trouble. It is a bit on the quiet side, this train. Let's turn it up a bit. That might be too noisy, I don't know. See, I can hear it quite clearly coming through on my headset, but it is one of the quieter trains, this one. So what are we? 7 carriages, aren't we, I think? Hopefully that's a bit better. I read it, incidentally, I think that what's his name? That Fluky is planning a modern day Crewe Preston when that comes out. So we could end up in theory with I know Josh is planning on doing a 2019 timetable for it as well, but we could hopefully eventually end up with a modern day Euston to Carlisle. Ah, brilliant. Yeah, no, that's better. Yeah, definitely right, definitely right. But they haven't always been, at times, DTG. I don't know, I suppose they've been honest to an extent, but they've talked about it, but they haven't always been completely transparent. And I don't know, I suppose if you're selling a product, you maybe don't want to just say, well, it doesn't work, so don't buy it. But it's that's kind of what the situation would be. Yeah, I think so. And of course, because don't forget, we've already got a modern day Preston to Carlisle. So I think that's what he was suggesting. He's planning on working on that. I just think it's, I don't know if scam's the right word, but it's a bit of a cheat to release DLC for, £30+ and then I think they've been starting to get a little bit better with the explanations, but, at least this time they put the effort in and said, look, it won't work on the older consoles, here's a reduced timetable, and that might be better for you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think the weird thing is, I think the Evero's more or less able to do the same timetable as the Pendolino, but I think that's just owing to the fact that it accelerates a lot quicker than the 390 is quite slow, really pulling away. Still feels like it's tilting though, but I suppose that's just the curvature of the track. Yeah, I think they've got a real old problem, and until you can get the consoles that can properly cope with the game, then it's going to be an ongoing issue. Yeah, I think they've definitely, I think all aboard have definitely worked a lot on the optimization, and I don't know whether that's with some help from Firefly or what they've done, but I think they were very conscious of the criticism that they got with Crewe Birmingham, which wasn't quite right, but I don't really think that's their fault. I think they just didn't get a lot of advice from DTG at the very, very start. That almost feels like they were left alone to it. Yeah, I understand, because at the end of the day, I mean, 30 odd quid's not exactly cheap money, is it? And you want a product that can fully work, and if it doesn't fully work, I mean, why can't they just kind of say, well, look, it's not going to work to its full extent on consoles, but because of that, we're going to actually sell it you for £5 or £6 cheaper or something. You've got the reduced timetable, so here's the reduced price to go with it. I always remember the old, if you ever watched that APT video with Peter Purvis, the old Blue Peter presenter, what is it, Round Trip to Glasgow, and he ends it with the APT saying, he says, the old service is good, but it's not a patch on this is so smooth. And as he's doing it, they go through a rather rough section, and the coffee is actually rattling 10 to the dozen. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. And there's a balance, isn't there? If you could offer it as a reduced price, then you know, that's something that they could genuinely do. I mean, I know absolutely zero about consoles, as you know, but I think we've talked before about. Actually, I should have the thing on, shouldn't I? Speed limiter on. Will that do it, or have I got to tinker around with this thing? Right, there is double yellow this time. Well, I can understand that they made the break, and I mean, Trade Sim Classic's just a bit too old in the tooth, really, now, isn't it, in terms of the graphics? And I mean, even this sometimes. I mean, I've always thought how good this looks graphically, but then when that running train came out, I thought, wow, that's what a train game should look like. Yeah, and of course the big dilemma is, what do they do? Do they just say, right, you know, keep going on this for a couple of years and then we'll go with Unreal Engine 5 or Unreal Engine 6, whatever it might be, and we'll start again, and you kind of get like an every 10-year sort of iteration, a brand new game. But I must admit, so impressed with Running Train. I mean, it's like a different world. Yeah, well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's pushing the limit, isn't it? Even on a PC. Ah, brilliant, Pete. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I've knocked it off at the minute because, again, I'm just trying to make sure it's. But yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I will get that. I'll get it ordered tomorrow, and I think that's. Hopefully, that's the first phase. Why has my power gone down rapidly? Is it because I've hit a neutral section and I've not responded? We are in forward still, aren't we? Hang on. Right, something to do with that speed limit thing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think the what's his name? Is it Razu or something like that? The chap who's done Running Train. He has had the luxury of being able to build it over 2 or 3 years, and you know, he's had no time pressure in terms of bringing out a brand new game, but which is obviously a bonus. I thought there was talk about there being a new, a next generation of console. I mean, I think Matt made the point recently at one of the streams about how memory-consuming train games are because of the fact that you've got all the trains running around, and it does eat up the memory. And I guess there's not a massive amount you can do about that. I mean, I think they used to cheat in Trade Sim Classic. I think it was basically a question of they used to run, a lot of the AI trains would only run on the sections where you were likely to pass them rather than doing the full runs. Yeah, I saw your comments on the Tintin stream yesterday, which was quite nice. Quite enjoyed that, the interview with Tom. Yeah, it does look amazing. I mean, we've yet to see the one of the MGR coal wagon runs, and from what I gather, it's I think Tom kind of hinted at it in the stream, but I think he said it's basically something like a very, very long run. I don't know if you're in the realms of it being something like 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will. And he said before that he really wants to make sure there's a 2019 timetable and the entire section between Euston and Carlisle. I'd quite like to see a backdated one as well, actually. I'd love to see a backdated Euston to Milton Keynes and a backdated Trent Valley, although we'd be all right with the electrics, but we'd need an old EMU, really. Probably just about get away with the 323 as a 321. Yeah, I thought it was something along those lines, so I can't see me doing that on the stream. I think it's one of those where if I record it on a YouTube video, then it's going to be like, right, here's a speeded up version that takes 5 minutes. Yeah, perhaps what they'll do is they'll show a section of it for a few minutes, I'm guessing. Yeah, well, I think all aboard have said 100% for certain that the next route is not. Well, they've said two things definitively. They've said it isn't going to be a long route. It won't be the same route length as the Trent Valley, and the other thing is it's not going to be West Coast Main Line. So I don't know whether there's a clue lurking at Crewe, because there's a bus there with Shrewsbury on the front. So who knows? I mean, I think Crewe Shrewsbury is only about a 30-minute journey, I think, although some of the stopping ones, the all stations, take about 50 minutes, so that's possible, I guess. I mean, in my dreams, I'd love it to be I think I said this the other night, didn't I? But I'd love it to be Manchester Piccadilly to Shrewsbury, and then that really would be good. But then, you know, again, they'd be saying, well, actually, it's not West Coast Main Line, so maybe Crewe Shrewsbury it might be. Yeah, it does, Scooby. Yeah. I mean, I daren't use it coming up when we get to Milton Keynes. I will close the game down and reload up, because I've just got this horrible feeling that I would use the route hopping, jump on the train at Milton Keynes, and then we'd probably get to about 5 miles from Crewe, and then the game would dump on me. So I daren't really use it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I'm completely jumping to conclusions as well with this Shrewsbury bus at the front. They might have just simply done it to have got away from the fact that they wanted to get away with this joke about Alderley Edge, maybe, I don't know. Although my brother was being a bit pedantic when I mentioned it, and he says, they don't do buses from Crewe to Shrewsbury. Yeah, well, I think that's a strong possibility, and that would be quite nice as well, because again, with this unit that we're driving now, we could go into diesel mode, and we could take it through to Chester and beyond. Which I think will be pretty exciting as well. The Festiniog and Welsh Island Railway, yeah, oh, that would be good, yeah. Yeah, 73 would be pretty good. I'd love to do an old run from Victoria to Gatwick in the Gatwick Express. Yeah, I mean, I hope. I mean, maybe all aboard are not going to do it, but I really hope that somebody fills in. I know it's an old hobby horse of mine, but I'd love, yeah, the bit to Birmingham New Street to be done, and I really feel we have to fill in that gap. And Alan Thompson Simulation have just got to do that section between Crewe and Alderley Edge. I mean, you kind of wonder whether they're a bit fed up with Train Sim World. They still very much hang on to Train Sim Classic. Oh yeah, 730. Yeah, I'd like a 73 though. Yeah, Crewe to Cardiff would be absolutely superb, and that would take me back to the days of standing in the cab of a 33 at Crewe Station, where there used to be Crewe Cardiff. But I'd be quite happy to do it with a modern day 67. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're Easter's missing, and yeah, we need something ideally out of Waterloo, I think. Oh, right, that's interesting, because I think on when the 805 was released, I don't know about the AI ones, but certainly on the drivable ones, it was actually directing you towards putting the pantograph down and going into diesel mode. It just feels to me sometimes as though they've kind of the whole debacle over working with third parties, although it's been brilliant because of what's been possible, what's been produced. I think the whole like time scale on how long it takes for stuff to come out, and the whole thing just seems to be in a bit of a mess. Yeah, all of them would be amazing. Yeah, I mean a modern day Crewe to Liverpool Lime Street, you know, with West Coast Main Line would be quite nice. Yeah, I kind of hope that, because that's always the thing. It's not at all impossible that they could. If you think back to Train Sim Classic, they released East Coast Main Line South, and it was King's Cross to Peterborough, and we only had Drayton Park was on the game, but they didn't extend it to Moorgate, and it wasn't until a few years later when somebody built the add-on for free, to extend it to Moorgate, but there'd be so much playability with having Moorgate in there. But I think they've obviously gone through a big change over the last few years, where you kind of feel as though there was the time when everything was built either by DTG or by Rivet Games, and although Rivet are obviously still active, it's very much changed the whole stuff. Get some brakes on, seeing as though we seem to be running a bit close with the signals here. Oh, is that double yellow? I'll be interested as well. I mean, we're talking about Crewe Preston coming out, but I presume that they have been working on the Cumbrian coastline as well. So I don't know whether the plan is to release that still in TSW6 or whether we're going to have to wait till TSW7. I mean, Tadami Line, you kind of lose track on whether that's imminent or not imminent, but it can't be a patch on running train anyway. I know it's a completely different thing, but there's that Portuguese route as well, but that seems to have gone a bit quiet. And I'm hoping as well that very, very soon to come out is the Richmond extension as well. I think I'm looking forward to both. I love the feeling of Crewe to Preston in the 80s, because it's how I remember it, and Crewe in the 80s was amazing, even down to see the Travellers Fair buffet. And from what I can gather as well, it seems to me as though they built a completely brand new Crewe as well. They don't seem to have used the all aboard studios one at all. Yeah, there's plenty around Glasgow that's not being touched, isn't there? And again, that little fly on the wall with the West Coast Main Line. It's, you know, are we ever going to get the section down to Carlisle to be done to complete the full 400 miles or so between Euston and Carlisle? Yeah, I'd absolutely love the Merseyrail, and I know that I've forgotten his name, but he's been on the stream before. Somebody working on a freeware one for Trent Valley Classic, but it's the problem with these projects is it's whether they ever get finished because it takes so long. But Merseyrail, I think, would have tremendous value. But I'd be a bit bored with it if it was totally the new 777s, although again, that's probably what the modern train simmer would like the best. But I'd love to see the 507s on there. Yeah, that'd certainly be something a bit different, wouldn't it? I mean, you know, we're now in limbo, aren't we? We're in June, and the next few weeks, well, we already know what's coming out this next week. Hopefully we'll get the North London line extension. Thames Valley branches hopefully might come out before TSW6, but I'm not sure about anything else really. Yeah, I mean, there's somebody that's doing that freeware version, and it'd be lovely if that gets finished between Doncaster and Sheffield. That would be quite nice in its own right. Yeah, oh, the Metropolitan line would be amazing. We pinned our hopes on Just Trades doing that, but I think basically they were quite unequivocal about that. They said it was an absolute nightmare building it for TradeSim Classic, so they kind of got no wish to do it again. Yeah, some lovely scenic runs. Funnily enough, the thing about Crewe Preston is it's the opposite of being beautiful, because it's set in the the industrial heartland of the 80s, but I kind of love it for that as well, with all the things like having Fiddler's Ferry power station and all the coal mine stuff, and I love how industrial it feels. Yeah, I think they've always been fairly honest, the Just Trades guys, but I think Tom did say yesterday that they kind of know what they're doing for the next 2 or 3 years. It's all pretty much planned out, so we shall. He said he'd love to tell people exactly what they're doing, but of course he's not able to. Yeah, it's more of a again, you kind of need Derby Sheffield, but it's more of a sort of an extended thing for cross country really, and so on. Yeah, I mean they've been asked tons and tons of times about this, and I think Pete Mitchell said on the forums that they won't rule it out completely, because they've been asked many times about it, but they also don't have any plans to do it. But it's a great shame, because I want to get into the cab at Euston and get to Manchester Piccadilly, and just the same as I want to be able to do the Liverpool Lime Street services. The Glasgow ones don't bother me quite so much, because it's natural that the driver would change over at Preston anyway, so it kind of feels okay for that. And I'm also looking forward as well with Crewe Preston. Of course, it does open up the fact that we can suddenly do in the 80s Crewe to Blackpool as well. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And I believe there's a new timetable coming out pretty soon for Blackpool branches as well, to take into account the electrics and the all that sort of stuff. Oh, 100%. I mean, that was a bit of a nonsense, wasn't it? The fact that they had to release a joint statement about it. It was almost as though, well, there's been major arguments going on, but here's what the plan is. There was a massive... oh, heck.
Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller.
Right, okay. First bodge of the night. Won't be the last.
Contact the signaller.
So where's the overspeed button on this thing?
Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller.
Yes, I've heard you. I don't know where it is though.
Overspeed. Contact the signaller.
I know. Oh, I haven't even got that thing switched on at the minute.
Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller.
It's got to be one of these things, surely, hasn't it? Right, I can see it.
Overspeed.
Right, there we go. Press the overspeed button. Yeah, we've done that then. Okay. Perhaps I got to press it again, maybe. Yeah, we're off. I didn't think I was going too fast. I don't know, what nonsense. Trouble with these trains, they're just far too sophisticated these days. Yeah, so that's yellow, so we're all right to the station. Yeah, Bob was saying Northern Trans-Pennine Cross City and East Midlands Railway only runs south of Sheffield. Yes, of course. Yeah, the 810 as well. Yeah, it's quite interesting though, and I mean I know Sheffield from Train Sim Classic as well. It's you know, particularly you kind of, if you add in Manchester to Sheffield, and
We are now approaching
it's pretty
Milton
decent.
Keynes Central. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
Yeah, custard creams would be my choice. Yeah, I wonder if you could say that. You could say that. Yes, tea and biscuits with the manager. Could I specify custard creams, please? Those are my favourites. Yes, I'd love to just be able to jump into. Mind you, okay, I'm late now because of all that. So if I actually route hopped, you probably find that the this service would have already departed anyway. I've got a feeling you might be right, Scooby. It might be considered slightly on the cheeky side. Yeah. Yeah, it was all very weird, wasn't it, the ATS thing? So, virtually the day it released, or the day after it released, Alan Thompson did a video and said, look, we're not happy about it. Unfortunately, it went wrong. It was the wrong release build. This is what we're doing. We'll get it fixed for you. Don't you worry. And then, ever since that radio silence, and then until... So you kind of get the impression that DTG were massively annoyed with ATS for coming out on their own back and making that statement. Exactly, that's right. Yeah, you say, oh well, yeah, I'll have a chat with the manager, but it's got to be on my terms, surely. Morning coffee so it breaks in your drink and have to fish it out with a spoon, yeah. Right, Mike had tea and biscuits with the manager last week. He had overrunning engineering. Ooh, crike on the Lee Valley lines, yeah. Yeah, it's the sort of thing you hear about on the radio, isn't it? On 5 Live, you know. It's and unfortunately delays on the Lee Valley lines due to overrunning engineering works, and it all sounds all very trivial unless you happen to be the people who are involved in the engineering works or the poor passengers who have to use the line in such circumstances. Good evening, Peppy Leppy, which I'm sure I pronounced wrong. Yeah, hope you're well. Why can't they merge the two together? Well, that's the hope, and I know that Az has been talking to, and Josh as well for that matter, been talking to, what's his name, Muff, isn't it? So maybe it might happen at some point. There's also the job of then getting the timetable to work. So I think we've got two different schools of thought. I think DTG are firmly of the opinion that it just isn't possible, you can't do it, it's a non-starter, and then you've got people who've actually managed to merge two routes together. But I guess again there's the issue that obviously it wouldn't work on consoles, but it would be amazing. And I've said before, but if we can get the situation where we do a live stream and we're flying through Milton Keynes, then that's going to be quite an exciting fact as well. I mean, nearly everything stops at Crewe, so you're all right there, but a lot stop at Milton Keynes, but not everything. All right, is that a fact, Bob? Yeah, it's coming out in 2 days, is it? Yeah, definitely. A lot of it's very much skimmed over, isn't it? And, you know, we get these road maps, we get all sorts of communication, but they kind of skim over these things a little bit. So miraculously, when we pick up the 807 in a minute, we're going to be back to being on time. So what are we doing? 1F18, aren't we? 1 Foxtrot 18. It says 11:13 there, didn't it? Did it say 11:17 arrival into Milton Keynes, or have I got that wrong? I know we were something like 11:20. Okay. Did they give a date on the road map, did they? That's something I'd forgotten about. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that wasn't explained about the 90. And it was released in a unbuyable state. It should never, ever have been released as it was. Yeah, I did see that, yeah. And of course, brilliant news as well that the North London line, the Malmö line, is going to get the official TfL announcements as well, both on the platform and in the cabs as well, and on the trains. Hasn't somebody done the 354 with the branding on yet? I'm surprised about that. That's usually that's done pretty quickly. Now, a message to myself as well, that when we get to Crewe, that I must make sure that I obey the approach control as well. Yeah, definitely, Pepe. Yeah. Yes, I believe so. Yeah, and hopefully that's uh, involves the Blackpool branches, because of course the problem with Blackpool branches at the moment is we have it was released before the 86 and the 87, and we hadn't got the air conditioned Mark II stock. So plus things like the announcements and that. So if all of that was done. And maybe I'm expecting a lot for a patch to encompass all of that, then that would be absolutely awesome. Because what I really want to be able to do is to do a Crewe to Blackpool and arrive in with the Class 86.
West Coast service to Liverpool Lime Street. We'll be calling at Crewe, Runcorn, and Liverpool Lime Street.
Yeah, so we're non-stop to Crewe now, just the 101 miles.
Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
But yeah, I want to be able to do Crewe through to Crewe to Preston in the 86.
Transport police. If you notice something out of the ordinary, speak to a member of staff or text us on 61016 and we'll get it sorted. That's 61016. See it, say it, sorted.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're good for 115 anyway at the moment. So yeah, I'll put the speed set on there, and then yeah, at Preston, then go send the 86 off to the sidings, and then come and attach the 47 and take it through to Blackpool. Yeah, I think it's completely different. That's the problem. It'll almost be like a new route, and you know, who knows? Somebody might put Blackpool in at some point. I've seen the clips of it. Yeah, I've watched the whole thing, but yeah, that looks good. And again, that's something else I forgot. With we were talking about stuff coming out, but that's fairly imminent. I should actually try and remember how to do this this thing properly. I've forgotten how you do it now. Where are we? I should have actually had a check about doing. I can remember how to do the speed set with the simple way, but I've forgotten how you do it the proper way. Yeah, I think they're definitely trying to branch out a bit, aren't they, with the ambassadors, and you know, which is no bad thing. We've seen Richie Rail having all aboard studios. We've seen Tintin interviewing Tom, and then Traits Society with that kind of exclusive preview of the Class 70. Right, is it different than Pepe? All right, we're up to 120 now. That's interesting then. So we were talking about not being getting the enhanced, but I mean, it's giving me permission for 120. Usually, if the unit you're driving, you're not allowed to go that fast, it won't give you the enhanced. Right, do they really? Right. What, even in electric mode? Didn't realise that. Yeah, I should have watched the video again about setting the speed control. I know that you can do it simply with the Control and R or whatever it is, but I haven't quite got the hang of doing it properly. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that, you know, I would have thought that the 805 in electric mode is exactly the same. Ah, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, here's a neutral section. I saw the signs for that. Yeah, definitely, Azzy. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the issue with today... hey? What are you talking about? Is that because... Have I missed the... did I forget to switch the power off or something? I did consider doing the 350 today, but it was just an issue really, and as much as I wanted to kind of do the freight run, so that's quite long in its own right, really. Definitely got the pantograph up, so I'm not sure what it's moaning about. Pan down, then pan up. Well, I know where the pan... Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, okay. Right, could it be a fault then? Yeah. Or a driver error, maybe. Okay. Just to say, by the I think I mentioned that Randy is our champion from 2 weeks ago, so he has picked OTS 2019 timetable for the Cross City line. So we're going to do Voyager working from what did we say it was now? Lichfield to Birmingham New Street. Yeah, I think we're all right now. Anyway, it's stopped moaning. But it does seem to be pretty smooth and stable. With apologies if that harks you back to Theresa May. It does seem to work quite well, which I'm pretty impressed by. But the timetable is reasonably busy, it feels. Ah, okay, it says, right, I see. So it does give us permission to go at 115. It did say MU, didn't it? So we haven't got the enhanced speed of the 125. But I think those speed limits are accurate for the train we're driving. Yeah, I think there is one or two weird movements with the Northern 323. I can't remember actually. If I remember, we'll have a look at the timetable at the end when we get to Crewe, and we'll see what services were available for the 323. Is it some sort of trip down to Wolverton Works, something like that maybe? Oh, there you go. Andy's confirmed it. Yeah. Yeah, you've got the there's one or two things with the ROG 37 as well, isn't there? But I think I'm right in saying it's light engine, isn't it? When I think of Wolverton, I can't help thinking about Tom's mate Mark when West Coast Main Line South was released for Dovetail Games, because he was commenting on the fact that they use just some generic buildings for Wolverton Works, and he was kind of saying, he says, look, he says, this is where the Royal Trader's housed. Give it some respect. And he really, really went at it. It was great. Well, probably would, Scooby. I think there's one or two services that they have kind of navigated round the direct line rather than using the rather than obviously trains that would have used the Northampton loop. So there's one or two freight runs that you do between Crewe and Milton Keynes, which clearly would have gone via Northampton, but they put them in just for a little bit of added playability. And I think David Pearson's done a video on Kilsby Tunnel as well, where he shows you that it is actually possible to, if you kind of go into free roam and you stop your train just south of Kilsby Tunnel, you can actually have a look at the vent overhead, and it has been properly modelled, so that looks pretty good. And you can look down to see the trains as well. Yeah, I do feel as though if Just Trains do some sort of backdated route in the future, then we'll hope to see some sort of first generation overhead, or even second generation overhead electric EMU. That's definitely missing from the game. I mean, I'd love to see, I've said before many times, as you know, but a 304 or a 305. They're all the same anyway, or very similar, or a 310 or a 312. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to. I think the 730's got quite a lot of use about it, because it could go into Cross City Line as well, and you could use it on Crewe Birmingham and this route. But it, you know, be a fairly easy win-win-win. But I would like to see. The trouble is, at the moment, if they built a 321, there isn't actually a route that it could play on. So right, here we have the M1 motorway, of course. Difficult to say, really, Pepe. It depends what my mood is at the time. I mean, I love to drive the old electrics that notch it up, and a great mechanical feel about it. So that's probably my favourite. But I do like the modern day stuff as well. Yeah, the M1's looks a bit shut at the moment. There's Watford Gap Services. And the good news is, I just noticed briefly as well that the services on the southbound carriageway is there as well. I don't know why that should be so important, but it's kind of, I like to see that little bit of realism. Yes, I've seen pictures of them. Again, if we ever got Leeds in the game and we had Doncaster to Leeds, then that would be absolutely ideal. So here's Kilsby Tunnel. But yeah, if you go into free roam mode, and you can actually look at that shaft from the ground and look down, you can actually see trains coming through. It's quite good how they've done it. I love that little feature that they've made the effort to put that in. I think that's magnificent. Yeah, and I'd love to. We've said before, but the 313 as well is absolutely crying out to be used on Mildmay line. I'd absolutely love that to be made into a, because the 313s were obviously originally both overhead AC and DC, so I'd love to have it kind of amended so that you can actually drive both and stick the pantograph up and do it properly, because that would substitute it for the Mildmay line absolutely perfectly. And even if, yeah, I mean, I know they did go to North Woolwich, but even if we could only do Stratford to Richmond, it would be, still would be pretty good. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me with the putting the simple speed limiter on, because I've kind of forgotten how to do it properly. Well, there we go, we've driven 80 miles in it. We've got the Northampton line coming in now. So we're heading fast towards Rugby. Just to say, by the way, I know I had to mess around with the settings like nobody's business during the week. So does it look about the same as the normal? I know the quality is absolutely top notch, but does it look about the same as normal, would you say, on the stream? Ah, right, okay. Was that intentionally then, Pepe, or did you fall asleep or something? I mean, I've got a video 125 somewhere on the shelves where it does the run from Richmond to North Woolwich, and that was in the last days, I think, whilst before it became a thing, so or it stopped being a thing. So, but it was a really good video. Oh, okay. Well, I think that's quite a nice experience. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing probably the reality is that it's a much better, more regular service when it became part of the Docklands Rail. But yeah, and imagine, you know, from a nostalgia point of view, it's a shame. And I guess as well that your average commuter on the North London line was probably really glad to see the back of the 313s, because they were probably very crammed in on a 3-car unit. Good evening, Seb. All right, fantastic, mate. Yeah. Ah, right, okay. Oh, well, there you go then. Yeah, we'll be going through Lichfield fairly soon. And the great news is as well, when we do the Champion's Choice run, it's actually going to be a run from Lichfield to Birmingham New Street. All right, gotcha. Good question, Seb. It is. There we are. 807008. So I presume, unlike the 805s, which you can often have two coupled up together, but I think with the 807s you're always going to get the 7-car unit, I presume. Oh right, is it really, Brian? Yeah. Again, a little quirk, I'm guessing. Oh, actually, you can tell what the unit number is there in the cab as well. Will be. That's gone off again. Pity we can't get these screens usable as well. It is 1 Foxtrot 18 we're doing, Pepe. But I must admit, it's a million times more enjoyable doing Trent Valley from Milton Keynes to Crewe than it ever was doing Stafford to Rugby, or in this case Rugby to Stafford on Trade Sim Classic. That always felt very, very limited in scope and was never expanded upon. So I think having this such a long route is absolutely marvellous. But at some points I might just do a full Chester to Euston service. You know, probably a recorded video more likely, but it means we could utilise the 805 on Trade Sim Classic and do Chester to Crewe, and then at least we could do the full journey. Whereas at the moment, not even on Trade Sim Classic, we're not able to do the full bit from Crewe to Manchester Piccadilly. I mean, Alan Thompson have said that should be a thing in the last quarter of this year, but I kind of take such things, I think it's more of an aspiration than an expectation. So so I think when we get to where are we? I know we might be all right. I was going to say when we get to Crewe. Well, where are we now? 40. No, when we get to Crewe, I'm gonna make the half-time coffee, I think. Right, is that right then? Yeah, is it Coach A at the front? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Coach A. know there's been a lot of people who've suggested that the colouring on this thing isn't quite right. It looks pretty good to me. So it's not the most exciting stretch of railway in the world, but it's great to be able to do the whole line, and this is really what we've been crying out for months and months and months, to be able to do Euston to Crewe. And bear in mind, this was announced in December before Christmas, so we've waited a heck of a long time for this to be released. But it certainly does feel very recognisable, this part of Staffordshire. So this is kind of the opposite to the run I did the other night, because that one stopped at all the locations. I think we even stopped at Lichfield and Rugeley as well. I can't remember if we stopped at Nuneaton or not. Plus I had an impromptu stop at Stafford as well. I mean, I think they probably use a lot more, the all aboard team use a lot more sort of general assets, and there's a lot more custom ones on the Just Train routes, because they've really gone to town with getting the bridges to be absolutely perfect and all sorts of stuff. Here's Nuneaton. So a lot of the Euston Manchester via Stoke stop at Nuneaton. The line's veering off there to go towards Birmingham New Street, and then Leicester on the other side. Yeah, very much looking forward to the North London line, and I'm hoping that's not going to be too far away. And then we are going to get a real lull, aren't we? It's going to be all about TSW6 and what comes out for that. But let's have summer first, though, and it'd be nice to enjoy hopefully some decent weather. Of course, no Rugeley power station on this route either, and the train's a classic one. When you go through Rugeley, the cooling towers are still there, but all long since demolished. Which kind of brings me on to the thing about the 70 as well, that they did mention that there is going to be a new timetable for the Midland Main Line, I think, to go alongside the 70. So we're going to get cross country with both the 170 and the 220 workings, which is going to be good. Yeah, absolutely. I'm very interested by the shots of the blue Pullman, the original one, and I mean, it wasn't, I don't know how many years it actually was in service for, but it was kind of I don't know whether they just got rid of it because it was non-standard, but it didn't seem to have a very, very long life. It was almost to me as though they created it because of the disruption with the West Coast Main Line electrification works, and it was kind of like, well, we know you're going to have a bad time of it, so in the meantime we're going to build something that's quite nice. Yeah, definitely right. Yeah, base says. I mean, that we did a run in the free timetable mod from the other week, which is shaping up. It's got a lot more traffic on than it had originally, but it'd be nice to have an official one that's got plenty of stuff. Because even the Derby to Nottingham, it'd be quite nice with the. I know it's not very long, but at least it's a run you can do with the 170, and you do the 220s from Derby to Leicester, having just come off from Birmingham New Street. And you keep thinking about the bits that are missing as well, so it's like, it'd be nice then to think, but we haven't got Derby to Birmingham New Street via Tamworth. Maybe something like that might be an all-aboard studios thing, because again, it's the it's kind of the Midlands where they're from. I've probably said this before, but if I was driving this on my own and not streaming and having all the chat coming through, I'd probably find doing a full run from Euston to Crewe, where the only stops you were making were Milton Keynes and Crewe. Slightly on the boring side, but when we've got all the stuff coming through and the chatting, it's amazing how quickly it goes. And I forget what the distance was from it was 108 miles, wasn't it, thinking about it? We know that often enough from Milton Keynes to Crewe, but already we've eaten a large proportion of that. I think on this Crewe Preston as well, there's some sort of rail tour service that you do, which basically encompasses the whole line, and it's hours and hours and hours, and you more or less cover all the various branches. Yeah, I think it's, from a streaming point of view, I think it's absolutely ideal, because the only thing really to concentrate on is the speed limits, whereas with when you're doing a stopping, you do like Euston to Watford Junction, and I actually love doing it, but there's a heck of a lot to concentrate on with the constant stops. Good evening, Neil Watson, hope you're well. Ah, right, fantastic, Neil. Yeah, that is something that I do want to do, and hopefully I will do that in the stream at some point. Again, it was just, even with 4 hours, you're limited to what you can fit in. But yeah, I mean, the great thing is, other than that few miles between Crewe and Alderley Edge, you basically got a through service. Ah, right, excellent. Yeah, nighttime run. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it's like. I mean, there are, you know, it's not exactly you're going through cities, so I should imagine it'd be fairly dark. It's my preference is where it's kind of like dark but not pitch black, so that you kind of get a feeling for where you're going. Yeah, I might make a note of that, actually, Neil. I mean, I presume pretty much all of the Euston Manchesters that are via Wilmslow. I mean, I don't know whether it's quite a mix and match with the with the 390 or the 391, because you get a bit of a disparity maybe, so it might have to do a bit of compromising in terms of realism, but I mean, that in itself doesn't matter. But that for me is where kind of the excitement lies, because it's brilliant to think that you're in the cab at London Euston and that you are going to end up at the buffer stops at Manchester Piccadilly, having done a full service. Right, okay, so you can do it 390 can you, throughout? That's good then, because again that just adds a bit of realism to it. I mean, even the very early 80s, I could just about remember, I think, from memory would suggest to me it'd be 1982, and I remember me and my dad going to Derby, and it was just about the end of the era for the peaks. We were getting HSDs on the Sheffield to Bristol services, but we were getting the peaks on the middle of main line. So there was still just about 40. Well, I don't know about 44s, but definitely 45s, 46s. It probably is, Seb, I would have thought. I would have thought it will be, because it's kind of it's interchangeable, but I'm not 100% sure. You'd have to double check. But I think, I mean, we definitely, the run I did the other night was definitely a Liverpool Lime Street service to London Euston. That was at the Pendolino, so I've got a feeling that they operate on both, because as far as I know in real life, I don't know whether all of the Lime Street services are actually 807 operated now. Oh, okay, well there you go then, that answers your question for yourself there. Right. I've only just realised it actually shows the precise speed on there. That's quite good, isn't it? Yep. You certainly can, Seb. I mean, the thing is, it's not a championship scoring one anyway. The only championship run is when we do the cross city line with the class 220, but that's using Josh's 2019 timetable. So yeah, you're quite willing to do whatever you fancy. Well, the 24s were kind of before my time, really, but the 25s were still very much in operation. But they were used on lots of stuff, really, mainly freight. But they were certainly in and around the Midlands a lot. I think I remember going on a, imagine, no, it was a 47, I think. I was going to say I remember going on an excursion train from Stoke to York, but I think, I'm not 100% sure whether it was 47 Hall. I don't think it was a 25, but you did see 25s absolutely everywhere. The weird thing is, this is the first time I've done a proper northbound run, so I don't know why, but I've not had the issue about needing, the shaders needing to be loaded in. Yeah, that's true. They were very much on the North Wales coast, weren't they? All right, fantastic, Seb. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, that fits in with we're doing a 220 run shortly, so once we get to Crewe, we're off to Lichfield for a run on the cross city line to Birmingham New Street. I mean, that's why you know, you think back to the 80s, why the North Wales coast line was so revered, because you saw all sorts on there. Certainly saw a lot of whistlers on there, didn't you, with the class 40s, and I presume there was peaks, although I can't really remember. They were used a lot, I know, on the Transpennines, and you know, 47s. And as you say, things like 24s, 25s. But it's going to be good as well when we get what's it called, the 108 coming out for Cumbrian Coast. Then that's going to be good to do as well. Yeah, so I did, Brian. Yeah. I did think that was somewhat ironic, judging by the fact that I don't know if things have restored back to normal again. Oh, excellent, Seb. Yeah, it was a skip lorry, was it? Oh, okay. Hope it wasn't one of my clients. Oh, I love that double-headed class 24 farewell trip. Crewe, Holyhead, London Junction, Blaenau Festiniog back to Crewe. Yeah. Oh no, that sounds magnificent. This is College Junction, so the line diverts there off towards Stoke, and most of the Manchester trains that don't go via Crewe go that way. So they avoid Stafford and go directly. Joins up with the line at Stone. Then we're taking the two tracks now in towards Stafford, so we're going to go through past Shugborough Hall and go through the tunnels, which was built, I think, basically to assist the Shugborough estate, really. But yeah, I just thought it was ironic about the bridge strike and coincidental that it happened to be basically on the same week that this route came out. This is Shugborough Tunnel now, and you've got Milford Common that we've just gone past as well. I remember going there on a day out, sort of walking about once. But I was annoyed about it at the time because the World Snooker Championship was on and I was missing a day's snooker on the telly. Must have been Easter time. I think this side's Milford Common, if I remember rightly. I remember we did actually end up somewhere. We walked down towards where the West Coast Main Line was, so it's probably somewhere around here, I think. Then you've got Queensville Curve as well, which is a sharp bend just coming in towards Stafford. Ah, right, fantastic. Yeah, wow. D8 Pennygent. Yeah, that sounds good. I must. I keep like feeling guilty when all the names of these local, fairly local heritage railways are being on. I'm thinking, oh, I've not gone on that. I mean, I've missed the Diesel Gala. I think it was this weekend at the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, but I just haven't really had time to even think about that. So. But still, we've still got Acton to look forward to in the not too distant future. Oh, it's getting ever so warm in this room now, I have to say. Right, okay, right, yes, fours, yeah, know about CPC. I should remember what 4 stands for, but I've forgotten. Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge thing, isn't it? It really is a huge thing. Getting around Queensville Curve. It's so easy to do as well, but so easy to avoid with care. But I suppose it's running the same journeys day in, day out, and it's difficult, easy to get it wrong. You forgot how to turn the lights on. It's that panel on the left-hand side on the Voyager. Heritage Shunters Trust is at Peak Rail. Oh yeah, I'll have to work that one out. Here's Stafford. Nice to be able to run through Stafford as well, and particularly having come all the way from Milton Keynes. And I mean, this section now really will go fast. Yeah, which is kind of the equivalent, well, even worse than the having tea and biscuits with your manager as a train driver. But yeah, I mean, you literally think you hit a busy bridge, you know, like this on the West Coast Main Line, and you're affecting you're affecting trains. They have to obviously shut all the lines, so you'd think the cost of that, not being able to run services and delayed services, is absolutely astronomical. Yeah, I remember reading a report about one of my clients on the... Oh, there we go, there's a Class 90 on a freight, which we'll be doing one of those a bit later on. Yeah, I remember reading a report about one of my clients years ago, but I think they've been a bit naughty, as I recall. I don't think we were able to carry on insuring him, because I think basically the traffic commissioner's view was that they had to close him down, and they kind of said, look, I know that that means the end of his livelihood in, you know, this particular sector, but it's kind of we've got to do it from a safety point of view. So one of the easier renewals, to be honest. Now, I'm going to have to be very, very careful as well, talking about safety and taking notice of the various things, but it's so easy to get into such a relaxed state of mind, hurtling along towards Crewe, and then you can be really easily caught out by getting spadded at the very, very end with the approach controls into Crewe. I love the curvy track around here. So yeah, so obviously, just to say, the next round will be the championship round. So as per usual, if you want to take part in that, then you can get to pick the third run of next week's round. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I suppose SatNav is your friend in that respect, because I'm guessing SatNav will take you where it thinks is the quickest route, and it's not going to worry too much about. Although, you know, are they more technologically advanced now, where they won't kind of route you on a journey where they won't take you via, you know, sort of where you're going to encounter bridges over a certain height? And I mean, if there isn't a thing at the moment, I'm sure it will be in the future. But yeah, it's a fabulous little route, this is, actually. Really, really, really enjoyed it. Right, yeah, got you. But you'd have thought, again, you know, it's the sort of thing that it's like the expense that's involved, the extra expense, is just pales into insignificance compared with the problems that could be caused. I think in a lot of cases, the thing about these bridge strikes is there's not so much damage to the bridge itself. It's more about the fact that the line has to be closed. I like that. Sat nav in our vans takes you through, and that's the thing, isn't it? You know, even though this is a major supermarket, but oh, we don't want to spend all that extra money on all our vans. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that's the way it should be. I mean, it's obviously going to get even more technologically advanced in the future. Right, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Here we go. I'm getting past my journey to work here, so I'll be driving around this section. I'll be getting the other direction just before 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So those farm buildings on the right, very familiar, and then this bridge here. We're about 2 or 3 miles away from where I'm sitting now. Perhaps a bit farther. Oh, way up. Have I bodged it again? Must be because I've not noticed the neutral sections. Right, is that still a thing? Tom, I've not heard that expression mentioned in ages. Yeah, I can imagine it. You know, the more sophisticated, the better, really. It's such stuff like that must be an absolute minefield. And I mean, the thing is, if you're in a car and you're stuck in a traffic jam and you want a way out, then you still want to be able to do the same thing in a lorry, but to be able to do it in you know, reasonable safety. Yeah, I think they've been doing stuff around Tamworth for absolutely ages, and I mean they are doing stuff around our way as well, or at least, I mean, we had a absolutely massive camp with the protesters with a chap up in a tree, and he was allowed to sit there for months and months and months, and but then once it got a bit too serious, then he was obviously evicted, and they put all sorts of security fencing and lighting and goodness knows what. I mean, the thing is, officially, it's still only going as far as Birmingham, isn't it, at the moment, I think, but hopefully it will get extended. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, you got like Victorian infrastructure in a lot of cases. Right, gotcha. Well, that is the section that is actively, I forget when they say it's going to be finished by, but sort of whatever they're calling it, oh crumbs, what are they calling it at Birmingham, Birmingham the station, but That's very much in progress, isn't it? To begin with the C, I can't think what it's called, but the new stations. I've seen the pictures and the plans and everything. Right, well, we're nearing Crewe. Yeah, I can't remember how long it's going to take to get from London Euston to Birmingham once it's finished. Curzon Street, that's exactly it, yeah. That's exactly it. So it's going to be quite impressive. And of course the West Coast Main Line already absolutely jam-packed, so that will add a lot more capacity. All right, excellent. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be all changed, but not just yet. It's still a few years away. Yeah, 49 minutes, wow. Yes, I think that's the only... I know the building you mean. I think that is actually on Train Sim World, isn't it? That building. Yeah, you get to the point where you start thinking, is it going to happen in my lifetime? But hopefully it will. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? What the future holds. Alright, let's see if we can actually make an approach to Crewe without setting off the TPWS. We've actually got 6 minutes to do it in, so we needn't worry about going too fast. Very empty looking Basford Hall yard over there. Yeah, it's definitely yellow. Yeah, it's going to be weird to eventually have something that's it's no longer the premier route or the premier means of getting between London Euston and Birmingham. It's about time we built these high-speed lines. About time that the railways took priority. Right, so that signal, the near signal's the one for the southbound traffic, and then yeah, you can see the red one up ahead. Oh, we got a ROG 37 there. Oh, excellent, Seb. Well done. Do you enjoy doing that? Oh yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah, we definitely got a red there. I think. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's yellow, isn't it? It's changed to yellow. Needing to stopped. Didn't mean to do that. There's the ROG over there. Somebody was moaning about that and saying, why do we have to have static stock in the yards that have the engine running? Oh, I've still got this speed limiter on. Keeps throwing me off, that does. London Euston, 145 miles. That's not right, surely. I feel as though it should be called DIRFT, the terminal at Daventry. I think DIRFT sounds so stupid, but what is it? Daventry International Rail Freight Terminal, isn't it?
We are now approaching Crewe. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
I think they've sorted the announcements out nicely at Crewe as well. There's a lot more they put on. I certainly heard a Holyhead service being announced, which is nice to hear. I want to see a Cardiff or a service where they do the full announcements at some point. Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, DIRFT. You know, drift, surely. Drift works, but DIRFT sounds daft. Yeah, I'm amazed that there is the difference with the version of this route. I don't know whether they have used any of the building between All Aboard and Just Trains, but I know some of the places, the some of the canopies are changed from 1986, so they seem to have seems to be totally different. Ah, has it got a bit funny? Perhaps just try refreshing it again. Yeah, hi Dom. Yeah, yeah, you'll be in and out. Yeah, no, that's fine. Much appreciated.
26. Service to Liverpool Lime Street. Calling at Liverpool Lime Street only. The next train to arrive at platform 3 terminates here.
I think it stopped.
Platform 5.
Stopped
for the
again.
12:23. Avanti West Coast service to London Euston. Calling at Milton Keynes Central and London Euston.
I think it basically said there was drop frames 444, but that's only occurred in the last few minutes. So I think it should be all right again. It's just it'll take a few minutes to get completely back on track. I like that, Pete. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. As I say, I think until I've got this style of working, I think it's not going to be perfect. Just trying to get a balance, because if you turn the settings down too low, it looks absolutely abysmal. So I'm trying to do it as high as possibly can. Yeah, good to hear from you, Dom. Hope you're well. So I'm gonna make the coffee break now, which is about perfect actually, and then we're gonna do that cross city line run with the Voyager. So back in a second. Hello, yeah, creaky chair still evident. Germany 4, Curaçao 1. I've just seen Germany's fourth goal. I don't think Curaçao are going to set the world alight with their World Cup performances, I don't think. Yes, I think hopefully that frame lag dropping, it's a bit weird, you know, it's managed to go 2 hours without dropping any frames, and then suddenly it's decided to drop frames, and you know, the game was okay, but it just seems to do that occasionally. So now for the champion's choice. So this is 1 Mike 76. So this is the Class 220, and it's Lichfield to Birmingham New Street on the OTS 2019 timetable. But I'm hoping once I've got the Starlink installed that I'll be able to increase massively the capability of the stream. So I need to sort that before I start thinking about upgrading the computer, because if I got the fastest computer in the world, it would be totally useless from a streaming point of view at the moment. Then once we've done with this, then we'll move on to doing the Class 90. So we're going to do a Crewe Basford Hall to Daventry in a freight liner. Yeah, just a quick thing to say as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And if you're new to the channel, then please, if you consider liking and subscribing, that'd be tremendously appreciated and grateful. And as always, thank you very much to everybody that watches week in, week out. Your support, as always, is massively appreciated. Here we go. So whilst we've done a 2019 Josh one, so we need the 220 from Riviera Line. And we are going to be doing 1 Mike 76. There we go. So Newcastle to Birmingham New Street. So just before Lichfield, Trent Valley down to New Street. I must admit, I'd kind of forgotten that this element of the route was possible, because I've tended to work on, I've done Bromsgrove to New Street, but I've kind of forgotten that this was a thing in this timetable. So really good choice from Andy. Again, just highlighting how brilliant this really is. So if you're taking part in this, good luck, and then as ever the winner will pick or will do the run next week. Right, okay. Right, nighttime. Is that right then? Yeah, nighttime run. Oh, wow. There we are. Now I'm going to have to put my lights on in this cab so as I can see what I'm doing. some headlights on. We'll definitely go for night headlights this time. Don't know if we need to do anything else with any of the other panels. That's probably do us actually, won't it, I suppose? Oh, let's have a quick look on here. Nope, we're fine. Yeah. Alright, start again. Night time. So we're waiting until 21:22. So it's about a half an hour run, and then we're on the class 90. Again, obviously, just if we can find it, we it's interesting to have a little zip around as well. Yeah, it is very spooky. So hopefully once we get to 22:22 that signal will change. And I think it's non-stop. Ah, there we go, yeah. We got green. I was getting worried then. We're going backwards, are we? Oh, we've got some passengers on at least. About 15-mile run, and most of it will be under the catenary, but I don't know whether we're going to get held up by any cross-city workings along the way. So this is the station. Oh, there's a 323. See the station down below, that's where we just went under. So I'm hoping that by getting the road before that's left, then hopefully we might get a clear run into New Street. Got a 20-mile-an-hour coming up as well, which is for Sutton Coldfield, I think. I have to get some more brakes on actually. Actually, no, it won't be Sutton Coldfield, not yet. This is Lichfield City, isn't it? Sutton Coldfield's quite a few miles off yet. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's nice to see all the stations lit up though, and I mean, this is the difference between, say, years ago with Microsoft Train Simulator, where everything was pretty much pitch black. But it's nice to be able to kind of see these places with things lit up as it would be. Stupid camera 8 mode. I'll get the hang of it one of these years. I mean, we obviously could have done it totally cloudy, but it's quite nice to see the stars out, as it were. A bit of a contrast compared with driving the 807, where you were accelerating away very, very quickly. With this thing, you're just conscious that it takes a lot longer. Yeah, I've got a suspicion that it would be more of a nighttime work in this. I know on Sundays they do, so I've got a feeling that this is an unusual nighttime run, because the daytime ones normally just go via Burton on Trent. So yeah, it's always interesting to find out things that you didn't know existed. Oh, I got that 55 by the skin of my teeth. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the main Derby to Birmingham main line, isn't it? But I think there are Sunday workings that come this way, and presumably again for that group learning experience, because there must be situations where they have to send them this way sometimes for emergency reasons. We're getting a bit downhill, so try and put a few brakes on. I love this minimum brake feature on this. You know, usually I'm very, very quick into brake mode, but it's good how you can do that. Just apply a touch of a brake. Now we're on level ground, so we're okay there. Scare the life out of me, the game, when it does that little glitch, because you almost feel it's on the verge of it's going to do a crash, but it's all right. Yeah, it's not the fastest main lines. And of course, you know, we've got things like when you get to Aston and the little section before there, and you've got the branch going off to Bescott and all stuff like that. So it's quite slow in places. But hopefully, if we've got the road and we're not held up by any 323s, then it should be reasonably straightforward. So are you all intending to get Crewe Preston when it comes out on Thursday? Or are you going to wait a bit? You're going to wait, are you, Seb? Right, okay. Well, I guess from your age point of view, I guess like the older trains is probably not... oh, I've got over the speed limit there. Yeah, I understand it, Scooby, yeah, definitely. I think there's more playability in Preston Crewe than we've had for a route before. I mean, you know, doing the through passages are one thing, but there is just going to be an absolute abundance of freight. Some very, very long stuff, some very, very quick. So it's I'm certainly looking forward to it. So I'd say the plan will be I'm going to get it on Thursday, but then we'll stream it on Friday. Ah, excellent. Yeah. Yes, well, enjoy that, Pete. Sure you will. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've no idea, you know, how long that's going to be, and I mean, I think it's the same chap who did the. I know ultimately Josh will do one as well, but. I think Fluky's the same chap who did the the Glossop line mod timetable. Just to say as well, by the way, I've looked at the World Cup schedule, so certainly next Sunday and the Sunday after, I think we're just fine. There's we'll be all right for that, and then we'll wait to see about the week after, because you get into the knockout phase by then, I think. So, well, certainly the next two Sundays are going to be as normal, all being well. But yeah, I'll get it Thursday, but we'll stream it on Friday, and then it'll just, rather than this mad panic trying to get the everything installed and running, and then it ends up being a dead late stream anyway. So I think Friday's a better option. But I think you could probably easily do a whole stream on on freight alone on Birmingham Cross City. Birmingham Cross City. I'm on Birmingham Cross City now. You can do freight alone on Crewe Preston. Right, this is now Sutton Coldfield that we're heading towards. You got quite a sharp little bend through the station. See the signal, and then the 35's just slightly beyond that. Tunnel first, then the station. I don't know for definite. I don't think that the DTG official stream for Crewe Preston's been announced, has it? But it's going to be this coming week. Well, I don't blame you, Pete, to be honest. That sounds very nice indeed. It is literally Thursday, isn't it, Crewe Preston? So I'm guessing the DTG stream could well be Wednesday, I suppose. I bet they'll announce it tomorrow. And also, it's not $32.99 as well. I think I'm right in saying is it $29.99? I know it's not much difference, but they're kind of reflecting the fact that you've just got another version of the 86 and another version of the 47. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually, thinking about it, they'd be mad to go on Wednesday because that's England, Croatia. So yeah, Tuesday probably would be a favourite, I would have thought. Or they do it on the same night that it's released. I think they've done that occasionally before. But yeah, I think you're probably right. It is. It's come from nowhere, really. Well, I'll say it's come from nowhere. I mean, I thought back in September that it was guaranteed to be released before Christmas. Oh, they are. Their love for getting the detail right is just beyond incredible. You know, even things like the signal boxes, some of them that you can actually go inside, and they just go absolutely hell-bent on getting it to look right and to making it playable. There's no cash grabs as far as Just Trains are concerned. They just go to the works to it. Actually, speaking of which, they've even got Crewe Works on there. Of course, there's not really much there now. It's kind of like it's basically very, very similar, but on the other hand, now that was single yellow. It's very similar, the speed limits are obviously changed, but then there's quite a bit that has changed over the years as well, so you've kind of just got to cover your eyes and not be too bothered about it, I think. But I'd be happy enough with a modern timetable on the same route with, you know, just 1 or 2 changes. Right, now I've got close up to it. That's the yellow, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, definitely right, definitely right. I think even if you didn't know the area, you'd have to look at it and be impressed. But I think it's just an interesting section as well. And I mean, to be honest with you, Carlisle Preston is absolutely beautiful, and they've done things like the Loom Gorge and going through the Lake District is, you know, it's really is a work of art. It's lovely, but I think Crewe Preston's arguably more interesting because there's a lot more going on. I know, Carlisle to Euston. Wow. Yeah, definitely right, Scoob. Yeah, I mean, right, we're green, aren't we? Green, green, green. Yeah, it's definitely green. I mean, I was a bit underwhelmed when Firefly announced their route, but then when they did it in the detail that they did do it, I thought, no, I'm definitely wrong about that. They've done a brilliant job. The weird thing was, though, I have to say, in terms of viewing figures when I streamed Medway Valley, it seemed to be a bit down. So I don't know in terms of sales how it's done. It might just be the fact that there was just a proliferation of streams about the time. Yeah, I think that's the aim, and say Josh is working towards his 2019 timetables, but we've already got the one for Preston Carlisle. So yeah, ultimately we need them all in. Yeah, that's amazing, Pete. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? If there's an area that you know, you want to see it being done some justice, because there's nothing more frustrating than thinking, well, actually, that's there in real life, but in actually, you know, they just stuck some sort of generic building in there. Right, this is a stop this time. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's changed again, hasn't it? Yeah. I mean, I know that Tintin's mentioned that he's delighted that the Deepdale branch is in, and I think for all of us that know anything about football, then you obviously know that Deepdale's Preston North End. So, but the line is kind of more obscure. But again, it's just a another little something to go in there, as well as the Haydock branch being in. And there's that bit of nostalgia as well, you know, let's be honest, about getting back to the 80s and, you know, British Rail Blue and experiencing all that. But I like the sense of continuity that Just Trains have managed with their routes. They have worked hard. They haven't just done random routes without any thought about connecting up. Each one has felt like a logical progression from one route to the other, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Tintin hiring a nurse, and same as me, oxygen masks, the whole works. Yeah, absolutely. And he's nearly as ugly as me, I think it's fair to say. Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, I would love, like I was alluding to earlier on, I mean, I would love to see a backdated West Coast Mainline South timetable as well, and we've essentially got the traction, but it would definitely work with the 90s, because we could use your 321 mod for the 323, and you've got the 90s, you've got the. We just really need a driver van trailer, which I'm sure will come in at some point, and then we could have a full end-to-end timetable, which would be pretty damn good. I mean, to be honest, doing a timetable at Euston where basically the loco coming into the platform was stuck until the train went away, I would imagine it'd be an absolute nightmare to try and simulate. But once you've got the driver van trailer, yeah, the 90s would work quite nicely. Virgin are a bit protective over their licenses, I suppose that's the only thing, but it'd be nice to see it. I mean, I think you can live with compromises sometimes. It's you ideally want everything to be prototypical for the particular era, but I think there's certain things you can get away with. It's just like, I don't know, people weren't that impressed, but I mean, I quite liked the Great Western diesel thing that they brought it in, even though it was completely wrong. Well, I believe, Dom, it was said that that's going to be released this coming week. So no, I think it's. I've got a mod installed, a PC mod that improves the sound a little bit, but the bugs and stuff aren't corrected. I think it's coming out in the next few days. Oh, I'm like that, Scooby, to be honest. Right, we're on the junction to rejoin the line into Birmingham New Street. Okay, we better keep a sharp eye on these signals. Right, we are the double yellow, we're not the red one over the left. So speaking of the HS2 works at Curzon Street, that's all going on there. Be good if they like kind of occasionally put an update in so that it just represented the scenery on a rolling basis. See the rotunda as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, looking forward very much, Dom. Yeah, Crewe to Preston. Right then, got to try and get this right. Can I, for once, actually?
We are now approaching Birmingham New Street, where this train terminates. Please take all your belongings with you.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
On behalf of the on-train crew, thank you for travelling with Cross Country. We wish you a safe and pleasant onward journey.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I love that at the end there. I've not heard that before. So the question is then, where would this unit go off to now for stabling? I did, yeah. I don't recall anything being. The thing was, I was, as you know, I had computer problems in the week, so I've spent literally hours and hours and hours messing around with the computer trying to get the right setting. So I was like flicking between that, trying to watch the stream. It was also the same night as Mexico, South Africa as well. So there was lots that I missed. What did I miss about Euston then? What did they say about London Euston? I'm really intrigued. Did they tell us anything? You've got me interested now. Very interested. I feel as though there's some huge gossip that I've completely and utterly missed out on, which wouldn't surprise me. Right, now we're supposed to be 10 mile an hour, not 4. Which is why we're running late. Alright, Andy's in with his score, which is marvellous. So Andy is 5.264. I was doing alright till I broke the speed limit, and then I'm a bit late coming into New Street. So I've got a suspicion I'm not going to be. Oh, I see. Right, okay. Right, okay. Oh, whack. I didn't see that damn signal. Oh, well, that's a note from me. I was too busy looking at the chat. Right. Oh, I see. Yeah. Right, got you. Got you, Scooby. Yeah. Brian is 5.145. I think I'll make that into like a 5, not a 3. Brian is 5.145. Note from me. And the Mace Taze is 5.287, so that beats Andy's score. Oh, I know. I got too much power. That was the problem. Never mind. Won't be the last time. Yeah, never mind. There's always next week. Yeah, it's a bit like when you're sitting in the car, isn't it? And you know, you're being the backseat passenger, and you're putting your foot down on the brakes when you can't do anything. And you're thinking, stop, stop, stop. Never mind. So it's looking as though, at the moment, unless we have any more, that Amazed Taze is the winner at the moment by 23 points. So well played to you, but I'm not sure 100% if there's anybody else, but you'll let us know. Yeah, it's massively all changed around Euston, yeah, with the HS2 works. So we... yeah, grabbing the ocean. Yeah. Right, so we're in the Class 90 then now for our final run. So I think it looks as though I can say well done, Amazed Taze as the champion, in which case you will be picking our third run next week. And then you don't want to drive with me then? Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah, oh, I can imagine. My brother always says I'm quite an aggressive driver. Yeah, right, okay. Right, wow. There you go. That's very, very generous of you, Amazed Taze. Brill. No, that's a superb choice, actually. Very superb choice. I'm the same. I hate sitting at traffic lights, and I just hate the well, the people my age and slightly older that they're driving a 10-year-old hatchback, and the lights change, and then it's like, go, go, go. You know, it can be very annoying. So this is quite a long run, actually, but I wanted to do a full sort of Crewe to Daventry. I'm going to do it in the blue one, I think. Don't think I've driven that before. So I think it's a bit slow running coming out of Crewe Basford Hall, and then we will be up and running after that. So the service I selected was 4 Mike 27, I think. Here we go. So originally it would have come from Coatbridge, which is up in Scotland. Ah, good evening, Dave. Yeah, yes, definitely. Thank you, and thanks for joining us. I did have a bit of a watch of your Killsby video earlier on. Very interesting, and interesting to see you delve into the the history, and also to show the fact that you can actually view it from up above ground, which I thought was brilliant. All right, okay. Well, there's an irony. There's an irony. Oh, are you going to New Road, Brian? Oh, actually, no. I need to be in neutral, don't I? Do. Normal. Oh, you're definitely right, Scooby. Yeah. So marker lights are on, and then we need daylights on the right-hand side, isn't it? All right, fantastic. Yeah, yeah. I've been to New Road once many years ago, back in the days of the Sunday League. We had a bit of a thing where we toured a lot of the grounds to watch Sunday League games. All right, fantastic, Amazed Taste. Yeah, I doubt it very much, Seb, to be honest with you, because this is going to take quite a while, because it's about an hour and, what is it, 1927, and an hour, nearly an hour and a half this run is. All right, excellent, mate. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's very interesting, and I think it's lovely to see stuff like that done. Hang on, I'm aiming forward. Yeah, I'm in forward, yeah. Yeah, no, very good. Yeah, yeah, really appreciate your effort, the interest, and the bits and pieces that you put into your videos. So yeah, very nice to listen to that. I need to kind of watch it, go back and watch it properly. To be honest, I've skimmed over it slightly, so I need to take out the few minutes and actually watch it in full. But yeah, very, very interesting. And it's good to get variety as well, because I think it's the easiest thing in the world to stream, you know, the ever increasing content that comes out, you know, which is always good fun to do. But to delve into history and find out new things, I think is really, really good. We are literally crawling at 10 miles an hour at the moment. So we'll see the proper view of the train once we get going. Yeah, 73 miles to the Daventry International Rail Freight Terminal. And we're heading hopefully for reception line 1. Import. See, it constantly says this. Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I could learn massively from that, Pete, to be honest. And you're very, very right with the price of fuel going up. I'm terrible for it, and I could definitely make improvements. But I'm kind of like, as I say, I get a bit aggressive at traffic lights. I just have to kind of put my foot down, and I don't like crawling. He says driving a class 90 at 10 mile an hour out of Basford Hall yard. Yeah, Bristol's got plenty of it. I mean, plenty there for the railway fan as well, isn't there? And it's such a historic place with Temple Meads and that kind of feeling of what Isambard Kingdom Brunel did around there. So I think once we get out onto the main line, we should have a clearish run. Right, right, okay. Right, we've stepped up to yellow. We saw that change in front of our very eyes. And I've never actually, I mean, I've been through Bristol, but I've never ever spent a day there or actually been round it. I mean, to my absolute crying shame as well, I mean, much as I've talked about Temple Meads, I've never actually stepped off a train there. I've been through a train stop there. I was thinking that my new car there, I thought that it was actually more fuel efficient, and I think it probably is, but it's also partly to do with yeah, we're definitely red, aren't we, that time? I was thinking it's partly the fact the fuel tank's a bit bigger. Right, Bristol Harbour side explore, yeah. Yeah, definitely, I would love to do that. So many things I've done that I would love to do or haven't done. I just need to be retired, really, and have a little bit of money, and I could actually get out and try different things. Right, we're on green now there, aren't we? So there we go. Yeah, Travelodges are alright. I prefer Premier Inns because I always think it feels slightly warmer somehow, just the whole decor, although they have improved Travelodges, I think, but you know that you're going to get a nice bed. Yeah, funnily enough, there's a lot of Travelodges that are very, very train related, right next to the lines. Like there's the one at Leeds, I know there's one at Macclesfield, there's one at Stockport. There is also one very near to Waterloo East. And I mean, I've learned my lessons on that over the years, because I've paid for hotels that aren't Premier Inn or Travelodge, and you know, I've kind of paid a little bit more, but got a much more inferior. At least you know you're going to get a set quality, which is perfectly fine for me. You know, I'm not bothered about it being, you know, unless I'm going away for a fortnight, then I'm not bothered about it being like 5-star. That is the beauty of Thailand, actually, that you can actually stop in a kind of like a 5-star hotel, but pay very, very small money for it. All right, okay. I suppose it varies, doesn't it? I suppose some of them are okay, and but not